I still love The Great Gatsby. That's how it's going to stay forever and ever. The last time I filmed a Gatsby video was just after I first saw the show, 22 shows ago, and tonight I'm going for show 24, and I am equally as excited now as I was on show 1. The novelty has not worn off, and I don't think it ever will. If anything, I'm getting more excited the more times I go to see it, because I know how much I love it and I know how much it makes me happy, so I get really excited every time I go. And the reason I'm making a Gatsby part 2 video is because I just haven't run out of things to say yet. So Gatsby, when I first found it on the 12th of October 2017, I'm never going to forget that date, told you I was lame. It was meant to end on New Year's Eve, and I couldn't make the New Year's Eve show because it was my brother's 18th birthday, which I get is fair enough, he's turning 18, I have to go to it. But I was like actually dying inside at the thought that the last show ever was happening and I couldn't go. But then they extended to April, so I was really happy. But wait, it is June and Gatsby is still going. That's because it is booking until July, which is very, very exciting, and I'm hoping and praying to every single person ever that it books for longer and longer and just never ever ends, because I'm not going to cope. I was at one of the shows and someone during the interval spoke to me and she was like, "You seem awfully familiar to this building, is this your second time?" And I went, "No, it's my 22nd. And she was like, "Oh wow, you must really like it, yeah. How are you going to cope when it ends?" And I was there like, "Excuse me? When it ends? It's not ending? Do you know something that I don't? What is this?" And I like proper had an internal heart attack. At the end I pulled aside Toby, who plays George, and I was like, "Are you guys closing?" I was so scared that it was going to close. I can't handle it. It's not allowed to leave. What am I going to do? It's been here basically since I've moved to London. It was my coping mechanism to moving away from home, which sounds really lame because it is. Do not judge me. And when it leaves, what am I going to do when I'm bored on a Saturday night, or bored on a Wednesday night, or bored every single night of the week when I always go to Gatsby? Since the last video there has been a new cast. Some people who were covering the role have stepped into the role full time, some new people have taken over main roles. It's all been a bit of a switch up, and everyone was more worried about it than I was. Everyone was like, "Are you going to like the new cast? What if you don't like them? What if they've ruined the show for you? What if you never go back?" And I was like, no, it's not going to happen. Like, I have complete and utter faith in Team Gatsby to hire the best people for the jobs, and they succeeded. They hired the best people for the jobs. Everyone was really worried. I was not worried. I had no need to be worried. All is well. I was incredibly lucky, and I'm so grateful that Team Gatsby was so nice and they invited me to the dress rehearsal, which was the day before opening night. Like, this is before they're officially open, the dress rehearsal of the new cast. They're not open yet. And I already had high expectations because, come on, it's Gatsby. Of course it's going to be amazing. And their expectations, they just knocked them straight out of the park. Like, if I didn't know this was a new cast, I think they'd been doing this for years. They were so good. Everything they did was flawless. They knew the characters inside out. They made me so happy that they've just gone straight in there and made the show absolutely perfect from day one. Normally when there's a cast change, sometimes people need time to warm into the roles. They didn't need that. They had it from like the word go. They were fantastic, and they still are even now. They're absolutely phenomenal. That's why I like going to see different people do different roles, because no matter who plays what character, it's always flawless, it's always fantastic, it's always perfect. Every single show I'm just so emotional because they're so raw and real. It's like they're not acting, it's like they genuinely have become those characters. And don't start going on like, which cast do you prefer? Because I don't prefer a cast. That's not how this works. Both casts are equally fantastic and talented and lovely, and oh my goodness, my heart is happy. It makes me very happy. They all bring something different to the roles so that the characters to me have a new perspective, and I love how, like, depending on who is playing who, so if you have covers on for certain characters, the relationships can shift. So whereas the normal Daisy and Nick might have a certain relationship, a cover Daisy or a cover Nick might have a different relationship, and it's really cool. My 23rd show, I saw my final cover run. I finally saw Jess play Daisy and Charlie play Myrtle, and they were the last two covers I had to see, and now I've seen everyone cover every role. So when people go for the first time, they just think that's standard for them, whereas me, I'm like, aha, I noticed that difference. I noticed that shift in relationship. Oh, it's very exciting. And I get very happy about things like that. It's just so nice watching different people do the same roles, because like everyone does something different and it makes it work really well, and they can bring different personality traits to a character. oh, I love different people doing different things. It's so much fun. Like, you can have Nick be really dorky and nerdy or introverted like he is in the film, which we don't talk about. Or you can have him really like bold and confident, and he knows what he's doing and he knows what he's saying. You could have Daisy, who doesn't know anything about what Tom is doing behind her back, and she's just a genuinely lovely lady. Or you could have Daisy, who does know what her husband is doing but is choosing to ignore it because she loves him very much, and oh, it makes my heart hurt. Wow, I really am lame. I'm such a nerd. It's getting to the point where we'll be sat in like a park or something, just a normal day, and my friends will be like, yeah, the sky is really blue today. They're like, the sky is blue. Do you want to know what else is blue? The chairs that Gatsby and Daisy sit on during the tea scene. Like, it's that bad. Oh, I had such a problem. On my 20th show, I was speaking to Jess, who plays Myrtle normally, after the show, and I was like, I saw this scene today where you follow Miss Jordan Baker and Mr. Nick Carraway into a room, and Nick dares her to sing, because she is a golfer, not a singer, and she takes him up on that bet and she runs off and starts singing. And I have never seen that scene before, so I was like, Jess, is that new? And she went, no. So I was like, I haven't seen everything after 20 shows. But then again, I haven't seen everything after 20 shows. It's so terribly exciting. Oh my goodness, there's still more to see. I thought I'd seen everything, but clearly not. And do you know what that means? It means I get to go back another 20 times and it's justified. See, when I moved to London, I was a huge fan of musicals. I liked plays, but I preferred musicals. Now, I'm kind of finding that in certain shows, not all of them, but in certain shows I'm getting a little bit agitated and restless because I'm like, this isn't immersive. Where's the interaction? Why are they not talking to us? I need more immersive theatre in my life. I used to think that 23 times, going on 24, to see a show was just excessive. Now I'm like, it is not enough times to see Gatsby. It's not enough time to see King Country. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It is not enough time to see my immersive theatre shows. It's not enough. I need to go see them 124. And even that won't be enough. There is no limit to any amount of times I can see these shows. I might as well move into the Collab Factory. It is my second home. If you don't know what the Collab Factory is, that's the building that contains Gatsby and King Country. Sometimes I'm there more than my own flat. Actually, with this flat, I am there more than this flat because I moved here a week ago today, and the amount of time I've spent here is very little because I've been on placement. So I've literally spent more time at the Collab Factory than my own flat. That is really cool and quite sad at the same time. See what I mean? I'm a massive nerd. I have 3 copies of The Great Gatsby. School copy that I've analysed, I'm going through again. Original cast, Great Gatsby copy, the hardback one, which is at home in Basingstoke. And then you have the new, ooh, pretty paperback copy. And what's really lame is if, oh, I can't believe I'm about to say this on camera. If I'm having a really bad day and I can't afford to go to Gatsby, I'll read the cast like messages and signatures, because I asked the new cast to sign my book, because I'm going to do that with every cast now. With every cast I'm going to get them to sign it, and so I read their messages in bed when I'm feeling sad and not happy and I can't afford to go to the show. So you've got Nick there, well, I say Nick, his name's Michael. You've got his signature there on his iconic opening monologue of the show. What a way to open the show. Oh my god, that opening monologue every single time, I'm grinning like a Cheshire cat. I have chills on my arm. It's just the best way to open the show. Like, Gatsby know how to start the show. They freaking kill it every time. And then you've got all the other messages there, and when I said to them to sign it, the same with the first cast, when I asked both casts to sign it, I thought it was just going to be a signature. I didn't expect to leave messages like that, which was really lovely. Now, thanks to my very Gatsby 21st, I spent my 21st birthday at my 21st show of The Great Gatsby, which was so nice. The whole team went out of their way to make it really special for me, and it's one of my happiest memories. But as well as the book, I can also read my card, which they signed for my 21st birthday. Look how sweet that is! Like, Gatsby's just done a hell of a lot for me. That's a story for another day, but it's done a hell of a lot for me. It means a hell of a lot to me, and I just can't stop going to see it because it's my happy place. And the second I step through the doors of the Collab Factory, I am at my happiest place on earth. You will never find me anywhere as anxiety-free and as happy as I am in that building. I think if I was to cast a Patronus in Harry Potter, 2 nerdy things combining, if I was to cast a Patronus in Harry Potter, the thing that I would think of to cast the Patronus would be any Gatsby show ever, or my 21st Gatsby show. Just anything Gatsby, the show related. That would cast my Patronus, because they are my happiest memories. It's really nice at the end of Gatsby now, because now I'm in my new flat. I think I'm basically the only person that lives here. Like, there's 2 other people, but I've never seen them. So I come home from Gatsby and I just kind of parade around my kitchen in my 1920s clothes, making my dinner or some food or a cup of tea, and I'm just overcome with joy at how happy the show makes me, and so I'm just beaming on my own in the kitchen, and it's a really sad sight. I look like a right absolute loser, but it's great fun. I love it. Who knew a show could affect me this much? This show has done something to me. I don't know what, but it's great. This show is just insane. Like, this show is literally a part of me forever. The way I know that Gatsby is a good piece of theatre is that after 23 shows, I'm still looking at different angles to characters, and I'm still perceiving them differently, and there are still lines that I'll hear that I've heard 23 times before, but I'll hear it again and I'll be like, oh yeah, I see what you mean, or that's another way to look at it, or I didn't think of it that way, and stuff like that. And that's how you know it's a good piece of theatre, that after 23 times it's still as fresh as show 1, it's still as amazing, as breathtaking, as magical. That is how you know they've got an amazing piece of theatre, and I'm so happy that it's been going for so long, because there needs to be more theatre like this. There needs to be more theatre that has this impact on people like me. No piece of theatre, no show has ever had this impact on me, and I think that says a lot. And I'm highly sceptical that a piece of theatre will ever have this impact on me ever again, because this is phenomenal. I love the new content I'm still discovering after 23 shows. I love the fact that I haven't seen everything, and there's always new perspectives no matter how many times I go. Like, there's always a line said differently, or a part that plays out differently that I'd never considered before, as well as the original scenes that I still like to this day. They're still fantastic and wonderful. I also like that they've added in some new bits, not huge amounts, but like in certain scenes I've noticed there are some line changes, there are some added extra monologues, or there's some changes here and there. And one of my favourite things ever is, because The Great Gatsby is one of my favourite books, that's probably why I love the show so much, that they've kept in so many exact quotes from the book. Like, I think pretty much the whole of Nick's opening monologue is taken directly from the book, and it makes me so happy because I'll be listening to them speaking and I'll be like, I know that quote, I know that quote, that's a direct quote, and it makes me so happy. It's just always so fresh and enjoyable and new and fantastic. So after 23 shows, going on 24, and I keep saying that, I find it really enjoyable to people watch, especially with new people who have not been to the show before. So like at the beginning, when you first get there, where would normally be the front of house in a normal theatre is like this big room where there's a bar and there's lots of chairs and sofas and places to sit or stand, and well, the furniture is a little bit mixed-matched, and it's all just kind of placed conveniently, but nothing really matches, and it all works really well for the theme of the show and the drugstore itself. And everyone kind of walks in and they look around and they say stuff like, so are we in here the whole night? So what happens? So when they say immersive, what does that mean? And they all ask these little questions to each other, and it's so sweet, because I'm like, dramatic irony, I know what's happening but you guys don't, and they're gonna have such a good time. Everyone who goes to Gatsby has the best time. They have so much fun and it's great. They're always so concerned or confused or worried at the beginning, and I find that hilarious, because like there is nothing scary or worrying or anything like that about Gatsby. It is the most enjoyable evening that you could ever have, and I find it really adorable that people get worried. That just reminded me, oh my goodness, I did a thread about this on Twitter, but I'm going to share it on here as well because it was so sweet. Beginning of my 22nd show, 2 men came over to join me. I'm not going to use their names because I don't want them to get upset or angry or whatever, because obviously don't know that I make YouTube videos when I feel like it, and I don't know how they feel about their names being put into a video without me asking. Like, these were fully grown adults, like successfully adulting adults. They came over and sat with me and they started chatting to me, because I'm always by myself, so people seem to think that I'm a sad person who has no friends. But we were just chatting and they said to me like, so when they say immersive, what does that mean? And I'm like, well, you're immersed in the show. And they're like, yeah, but are we going to be acting? And I was like, no, they've got actors to do that. You just get involved in the show somewhat. And they're like, what do you mean by involved? And I was like, honestly, don't worry, like, it's just a bit of fun. You're not going to change the course of the whole entire show. And they were like, this isn't normally our sort of thing. We were given tickets as a present. And I was like, oh, you'll enjoy it, it'll be fine. And they were not convinced at all. And then Nick came in and started his iconic monologue, and they looked quite chilled out. They were enjoying it. Went through to the main room where the party eventually unfolds. And when you first go in, it's a bit chaotic, because you've got all the characters introducing themselves to people around the room, there's music going on, there's audience members talking to other audience members they've never met before, introducing themselves. It's literally like a real life party, which is what makes Gatsby so beautiful and well done, is that they've made it a real party for you to experience and let the story unfold at the same time. It's so clever. So anyway, we're in the party room. I don't know what the scene's name is, but yeah, we're in that bit. And we're just chatting, it's fine. And Rosie Rosenthal comes over, introduces himself, and he does a bit of magic, and they seem to enjoy that. They were like, yeah, we like this. And I was like, oh good, I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. There's like another 2 hours to go, yeah, but that's fine, it's great, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And then the Charleston scene starts to happen. If you don't know what happens, because you haven't been to Gatsby, first of all, shame on you, go see it. Second of all, the Charleston scene is where all the characters start to do the Charleston. And then at the end of all the characters doing it, they bring in audience members to get them to do it as well. And one of the men, bless them, they got dragged into the centre to do the Charleston. And he has a look of pure terror on his face, like he looks so scared, and I just want to give him a hug because he looks so petrified, and all it is the Charleston, which I guess can be a little bit intimidating if you've never gone to an immersive show before. Like, you've never been to an immersive show before, now go do a period dance routine in the middle of the floor. But loads of people are doing it at the same time, so everyone's all doing it, everyone's all having fun. It's a little bit of fun. Like, that's it. Nobody takes it seriously. Like, you're not expected to know how to Charleston. The only reason I know how to Charleston now is because I've been 23 times, and even now I'm still terrible at it. It's just fun. A friend who went with him was just having a great time laughing his head off at him. So that was all fun and games, and it was all great fun. And then we got separated where they went off into the syndicate with Gatsby, and I went with Nick and Tom to go and meet Tom's girl, Myrtle. Ooh, scandalous. Seen again throughout the show where there are certain scenes where all the audience members are together and they look like they're enjoying it, but they also look a little bit sceptical at the same time. And then I speak to them again at the interval. And so they come over and we start chatting, and I get a drink and they get a drink, and it's all nice, it's all jolly good fun. We're practically friends at this point. And so we're having a chat and it's lovely, and they say that they think it's a very good show, very well done, very clever, but they also said to me that they think the immersion is slightly intimidating for them because they've never done anything like this before. So then I turn around to them and I say, oh, have you guys given your syndicate cards to Rosie Rosenthal? And they're like, no, we don't know who he is. And I'm like, the blonde guy stood right there looking at you. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll do it later. And I was like, he stood there so you can go give your cards to him. And they were like, no, it's fine, we don't want to bother him. And I was like, it's not a bother, he stood there waiting. And they're like, no, it's fine. I was like, you know, it's perfectly easy, just go up there, give me a card, he'll tell you X and give you Y, and it's all good. And they're like, I tell you what, if I give you my card, can you go give it to him and tell us what happens? And I'm there like, really? Seriously? Two fully grown men scared to go speak to another grown man and give him a card? I'm like, well, I'll go say hey to Rosie. So I take one of their cards, and I go give it to Rosie, and I follow Rosie. And no spoilers, but if you give your Gatsby syndicate card to Rosie, he says X and gives you Y. That's exactly what Gatsby says to them in the syndicate. So I come out of the room with Rosie, I go back down to the gentleman, and I'm like, take your card and go and give it to Rosie. They said, so what did he say to you? And I went, just go and give your card to him and find out. And they're like, no, what did he say though? And I said, exactly the same thing that Gatsby would have said to them in the syndicate. And at that exact moment, Rosie comes over and says something like, I thought you were going to keep this conversation quiet. And I was like, don't have a go at me, it's not my fault, they're too chicken to come and say hello. I didn't actually start crying and saying that because I'm like, I am not going to get into trouble for these two grown men who are chickens. So I'm like, they both have cards too. And then one of them gives me the biggest death stare known to man. Oh my goodness. If looks could kill, I would have been slaughtered. So Rosie's like, follow me, gentlemen. So off they go, and the other one turns around and gives me the biggest death stare ever. So they've just followed Rosie off and they look petrified. And then apart from the scenes where everyone's all together in one room, I don't really see and speak to them until the end of the show. And one of them buys me a drink. And I was like, well, thank you, but I didn't really do a lot. I just kind of pestered you and made you do stuff that you didn't want to do. And they were like, we want to say thank you because this immersive stuff is we're way out of our comfort zone. We'd never have done anything like this before. We're very grateful for you pushing our boundaries and making us do stuff to get involved with the show, because they said if they had stayed on the sidelines and just watched the whole thing, they don't think they'd have enjoyed the experience that much and gotten the most out of it. Whereas when I made them do stuff like speak to Rosie and do the Charleston and stuff like that, they said that helped them really enjoy it and feel really involved, and they were really grateful. That made me feel a lot better because I was really scared that I'd like properly ruin their evening by being like, go do this, go do that. I mean, I didn't feel like I've done all that much. I just like chatting to people, so I thought that I helped them go out of their comfort zones and enjoy their evening was really nice. And I was not breaking the rules, Rosie. They were too chicken. Just saying. And then we exchanged contact details, and they are really interested in King and Country, so I'm going to take them to go see that at some point in the future. They don't know how immersive that is though, and I don't think I'm going to tell them because it might put them off. I've told them it's more immersive than Gatsby, but I haven't told them how much more immersive or what they have to do. I've just told them it's an immersive show, but it's more immersive than Gatsby, set in World War II. That's all I've said. And they were interested, and they are fully within their own right to say no, they don't want to go, and back out. They are 2 grown men. They can make their own decisions. They don't need me doing it for them. I think that now I'm immune to immersive theatre, because I've done a lot of it, that immersion and interaction doesn't bother me anymore. I'm like, yes, feel free to ask me questions, feel free to make me do the Charleston, give me a broom that will break halfway through a scene, that is fine. Another scene I really like people watching is the scene when you first go in to the party after Nick's opening monologue, because it's a bit chaotic, like I already said, like a party, and there's like so much going on that you don't know where to look first. Characters spread out around the room, so you're like, which conversation should I go and listen to? And then there's a bit where Jordan Baker says, Daisy, let's do something, and Daisy says, let's dance, and then they start doing the Charleston, Daisy and Jordan, and slowly all the other characters join in, and that scene never ever fails to make me grin like a Cheshire cat, because it's such a nice way to segue from the huge chaotic party scene at the beginning to having everything all like organised and having the story really kick off, and all the audience members seem suddenly really taken aback, like, wow, this is really good. Another time I liked people watch is during the interval, because everyone's now excitedly chattering about the show and they're like, oh, who's Rosie Rosenthal? Go and speak to him, don't be chicken. Every show I see people who are too scared to go speak to him. Don't be scared, go and say hello to Rosie, he's lovely. And you hear people saying like, oh, I saw this scene, what did you see? Oh, I saw this scene, oh, this bit was really clever, or this bit was really funny. And it's just so nice to hear people's reactions to the show when they're only halfway through. And one thing I love about the cast of Gatsby, I've noticed this with both casts, but one thing I really love is that they are so sweet. So if they ask someone a question and they look like a deer in the headlights, the cast will just bounce off it and they'll just flow with it, like they're really chilled. And it's so nice that whatever the audience says, they've always got an answer to come back with it, and it's so clever how they can just think on their feet like that. And I just admire everyone involved with Team Gatsby. I'm so grateful for them. They're all so talented, they're all so lovely, the show is just fantastic, and there are so many people you don't even see on stage. There are so many people backstage and creative team and producers and directors that you don't even see, and without them this show wouldn't happen, and they need appreciation. This is my appreciation. You guys rock. You're great. You make my favourite show happen. I love it. Thank you. I'm so sorry that your show has fallen victim to my obsession. If anything, it's all your fault for making a show so good. You have yourselves to blame for me stalking the theatre and basically moving into the building. I'm sorry. I should probably save this for my favourite scenes video that I've been asked to make, but I can't hold this one back. The tea scene between Jay and Daisy every single time has a lump in my throat. Oh my goodness. They haven't seen each other in 5 years this November, and it's so sweet because for like 4 minutes or something like that, Daisy and Jay are just staring at each other in complete happiness and love. I can't deal with it. Every time I have tears welling up in my eyes, I have a lump in my throat. Do not look at me during that scene, do not talk to me during that scene, don't even breathe near me in that scene, because I'll just melt into a puddle of my own tears, which is really sad. I am really sad. One thing that I do love though is the Gatsby community. So because I've run out of friends and flatmates to drag to Gatsby, I go on my own. In fact, I go more on my own than I do with anyone else. And I find that people at Gatsby are so happy to just suddenly talk to you. Like with some theatre shows, I'll go up and start talking to people and they're quite short of their replies and you can tell they just kind of want to be left alone. Gatsby, and with King and Country I've noticed this as well, that if I just go up to someone and I start talking, they're really approachable, they're really lovely, they're really happy. I don't know if it's because it's an immersive theatre setting, it's because people who go to immersive theatre are more approachable and will be willing to talk to strangers, but whatever it is, I love it. And like, I've actually made friends through Gatsby that I still speak to even now, and it's really nice atmosphere, it's a really nice way to meet people, and I like talking to them because sometimes it's their first time seeing the show. On my 23rd show I met people who it was their second time, so it's really nice to speak to people no matter where they're from, how many times they've seen the show, what they thought of the show, whether they liked it, disliked it. It's just great, I love it. And as well as that, I love talking to the cast after the show as well. I know I've been 23 times, I should stop now and let it go, but I can't. Like, this is my favourite show. How can you leave your favourite show without saying thank you to the people who made it happen? They're probably like, great, 23 shows, we get it, you like the show, we've spoken to you quite a few times, can you just leave now? They probably think that, but me, being me, has the inability to pick up on that, and I just don't have the self-control to not stay behind and say hello. I just can't do it. They're all so nice and chatty and lovely and friendly. I could just worship and talk about the cast and the show and everyone involved with Team Gatsby till eternity. Actually, when I was expressing my concerns about annoying the cast for going so much, a couple of the cast members, Michael who plays Nick and Sam who plays Rosie / cover George, said a couple of analogies to me which I think helped a little bit. Michael said that if you have a favourite book or a favourite film or anything like that, you will read it or watch it again and again and again. And that's what I'm doing with Gatsby. And Sam said a similar thing, where he said that if you have a favourite football team or a favourite football player or whatever, you'll go to all of their matches and watch them and support them. And that's just what I'm doing. I've just found a show to support and actors and actresses to support. I have found I can't really go longer than a week without seeing Gatsby. I started getting withdrawal symptoms. Like, I used to go every single day when Statix did the rush tickets, and then when they stopped that, I was like, okay, I'll pace myself. I'll go once a week instead. I just want to address something. People have been messaging me on Twitter and Instagram asking me if I tweet and post about the show so much because they ask me to or they pay me to, and the answer is no, I don't. I don't post because they ask me to or they pay me to. I tweet, post, talk so much about Gatsby and King and Country and whatever else I talk nonsense about because I genuinely love them that much. Like, I genuinely love the show this much to talk about it. If I didn't like the show this much, I wouldn't be talking about it. You can ask my friends and my flatmates. When I first saw the show in October, after 4 or 5 shows, they were like, it's just a phase, she'll get over it. It is well over 6 months now, and it's still not gone. It is not a phase. My old flatmates banned the word Gatsby and for King and Country because I would not shut up about it. My current friends are sick of hearing about Gatsby and they wish I would go see a different show. It's not gonna happen, guys, keep trying. And so whatever I say, I promise you that I'm not paid to say it, I am not asked to say it, I just say it because I want to, and I love it, and I love Gatsby very, very, very much. Just in case you guys didn't realise, I really love The Great Gatsby. When I'm talking about Gatsby, I just get carried away and I just kind of talk forever about everything that I can think of to do with the show. But basically, long story short, the new cast are fantastic, they're all so talented, I love them all so much, they're all so nice. You guys are amazing if you're watching this. Doubt that they are because they've got lives and better things to do than watch me talk about the show they do as a job. The show is still fantastic. I love the show as much now on show 24 as I did on show 1. There are still scenes I haven't seen, which both kills me and makes me so happy because it means I have a justification to go back another 20 times. Not that I need a justification. The show is just so magical. We're going to see Gatsby forever and ever and ever because it is never going to end. If it does end, I will never ever ever go over that. That would be like the worst breakup that anyone has ever had. Show 24 tonight. The novelty never wears off. It never will. If you have not seen Gatsby, please, I beg you to go and see it. It is so good. If you ask me, in my opinion, unbiased, it is one of the best pieces of theatre currently running in the West End, and I just can't praise it enough, as you guys can tell. It is fantastic. Please, please, please go and see it. Before I end this video, I just want to say that in the future, some more mini Gatsby videos, not about the show actually, about the book. I don't know if you guys find this interesting, but I do, so I'm going to film and upload them anyway. It's just a little bit of analysis about the book, so like I'll do a video on Myrtle, and then on Jordan, and on Tom, and then Gatsby, and then everyone in the book, and then I'll do some on themes and stuff. So if you guys are studying the book at GCSE or A level, that might come in handy. If you don't find it interesting, that's fair enough. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. I know for a fact this is the messiest video I've ever filmed. It's going to take me so long to edit this. I filmed over an hour's worth of footage. I got carried away. So this is going to take me a very long time. And I'm really sorry it doesn't make any sense, but I just really like Gatsby. So when I talk about it, I don't make sense because I'm just like Gatsby, 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 Gatsby. That's all that is running through my head every single day. So it's just kind of like my brain has just been extracted and put into a video form. That was a weird analogy. I probably won't use that again. I have been daringly asked to choose my favourite scenes from the play and make a video about it. And that will be coming at some point. I won't say soon because to choose my favourite scenes, that's like asking someone to choose their favourite child. So that might take a while, but it will be there eventually. I also have like 9 videos that I plan to film, edit and upload some point in the future, but I don't know when that will be because it's kind of hard sometimes when all you want to do is lie in bed and watch Netflix to get up and film a video. Like I'm on placement. Being a student nurse is tiring. You do 12.5-hour shifts. It takes me about an hour and a half to get home sometimes. I don't know. I just want to go to bed sometimes. But today I'm actually filming a video on the hottest day of the year. I am waiting until tomorrow's show, the 30th of King and Country, before I film, edit and upload that video for a specific reason, which you will see when the video goes up. Also, whilst we're here, if anyone has any recommendations of where I can get cheaper, I obviously know they're not going to be very cheap, but cheaper vintage-esque 1920s dresses, please let me know. The 2 I have are nice, they're alright. They're more like fun 20s dresses, they're not serious ones, and We all know how much I love my vintage dresses, so I need a proper vintage one to go to Gatsby with. And I say proper, I went to a vintage shop and asked about a price of one of them, and it was like £180, and I don't have that kind of money. And I spoke to some of the cast before, and they said to try eBay, so I'm going to give that a go and see what happens. But if any of you guys have suggestions, please send them my way. I'm going to stop talking now, and I need to edit and upload it soon as possible, because this video has been very long overdue. I was talking about filming this like 3 months ago, and I'm only just doing it now. So I'm gonna go and edit, and I will see you guys soon. Bye! It's very, very, very warm. If only I had a miniature handheld paper fan like in Drag Race to use to cool myself down. Oh wait, I do. It's a J Gatsby one. You can buy these at the show for £3.50. Go buy one and then go see the show. Go see it with me. Yeah, I have no words for sliding that in there. I just wanted to show it off. For months I've been nagging in my head for Gatsby to do merch, and now they have. Look how pretty it is, and it gets so hot at Gatsby with the amount of people that are in there, and you're moving around a lot, and it's a very warm building. You get very warm to the point where you feel like you're going to pass out, and this comes in very handy. Very handy. So yeah, go see the show and get one. This is why people think I'm weird, because I am.